Welcome to Rock Cabal Live, the internet's newest music source, giving artists and musicians the voice to be heard. And now, on with the show, you filthy animals.
You're on Rock Cabal Live with Mike Edgley, and we're here with Tavis Stanley. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. We're going to dive right into this, man, and ask you a little bit about Adelitas Way. How did you get into that band in the first place? Can you tell us the backstory on that?
I've known the guys for years and years. Like, my band Art of Dying, we toured with Adelitas back in 2011 a few times. So now I live in Las Vegas, and that's where Rick and everyone's based out of. So I keep in touch. I go for lunch with Rick and stuff. And then just a few months ago, we were texting, and I just sort of said to him, like, hey, who's your guitar player these days? Like, is it me? Like, joking, but not really joking. Just sort of on a whim, like a quick thought, And he just called me right away. He's like, dude, what do you mean? He's like, are you available? I thought you were busy. And I'm like, no, I'm not too busy at the moment. So he's like, all right, you want to come out? And we just did that tour last month, and we hit it off. So it was great.
I read a story like that, pretty much how it went. You were joking with him, and they were like, yeah, well, why wouldn't it be you? Are you free? And I just...
Yeah, we kind of said, shit, I should have said that like a year ago. I could have done more with you last year, but yeah.
That is a cool way to get into a band, dude. I've never had it that easy. I usually had to have hours of tryouts before anybody said, yeah, cool, all right, man, yeah.
It's never that easy.
No.
Well, then I had to go through the rigorous initiation trials with those guys. It's actually, we just play video games, so good thing I whooped them, though.
Are you on tour with them right now? Is that who you're touring with?
Yeah, we just got back, and we're going to do some more stuff here at the end of next month to Oklahoma, and then some other stuff in June. Just throughout the summer, and try to stay busy.
Okay, now where were you touring with them? What was this tour? Where was it primarily? Was it in the States or were you overseas?
Yeah, all states. Just a big circle around the U.S. The usual route up to the Midwest and down into Texas and back to Vegas.
Is this band going to be a permanent thing for you, do you think?
I don't know. Eventually when you book yourself up and you play as a freelance player, which I used to do a lot more years ago in Toronto, eventually you have conflicts, and you cross that bridge when you get to it. But for right now, I'm happy to just be busy and play as much music as I can. So we'll just have to see. First
off, dude, your guitar playing is stellar.
Thanks.
So as I'm listening through the times, I'm kind of like, man, this dude can jam. Now with the Art of Dying, so this started in 2008, and you started as a rhythm player then, and then around 2015, I saw that you went to lead. Right? Is that correct? Or
not exactly like that. We had two guitar players.
Okay.
And then in 2015, our other guitar player, Greg, left the band. So we just became a four-piece band. So I guess I kind of had to do both. But we would trade leads back in the day. We do a bit of everything.
And you guys were on Reprise Records, which is Drayman and Donegan's label from Disturbed, right?
Well, yeah, they had an imprint called Intoxication through Reprise, which is Warner Brothers.
Okay.
And we kind of got signed through them by touring with Disturbed in 2008. And that was a what you call getting a break in the business, right? We went on this tour. An unknown band from Canada went out with Disturbed, and this was at the request of Dan and David. They liked us, and it's rare for an unknown band with no radio to go out like that. So we didn't know that the whole time we were out, we were kind of showcasing for them. We're having a blast and killing it, playing to thousands of people, and get to know those guys. And at the end of the tour, they called us up and said, "Hey, you guys want to come down to Chicago? We want to meet with you and talk business." What do you mean? But then we kind of thought, okay, there's something going on. And we kind of, figured out what was about to happen. And yeah, we went to Chicago after that tour and had dinner, and they sort of stood up with a glass of champagne, and we cheers and said, "Boys, we want to sign you guys," and Warner's got the green light. So that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A great moment.
Did all the Art of Dying albums come out through Intoxication?
Well, no. It's a long story since 2008.
Yes,
we did the first one through Warner Brothers, and we had a lot of success. It was one of those things where we weren't losing money. We were cooped, as they say in the business. We had 3 hit singles, and we did a lot of great tours. But new people come into the regime, and other people leave, and next thing you know, the person who liked your band is gone, and the new people doesn't like rock and roll. The new A&R guy just doesn't like rock and drops like 50 bands at once just because he just doesn't like it, and next thing you know, you're out. That's how it goes in the business, unfortunately.
Yes, yeah.
If they don't like you, they toss you aside like an old cheeseburger. Say, "See it. This is old."
I mean, I've been through a couple labels. I'm lucky to be on an amazing label now that is totally in support of me, but I've been through that, man. So I know exactly what you're saying. Like, you're on top, and then 2 days later, they call you and go, "Yeah, well, there's been a change, and you're not kind of the thing this guy wants to do. So we're just, Sorry.
Sometimes it was disappointing, and at the same time, though, the silver lining was that we realized we had a good fan base from it, and we had made some great music, spent a lot of their money that we didn't have to pay back. So we got to take that into our future endeavors. Now we're independent, and we are able to basically control all the music we make and put out ourselves. And we still have that fan base from back a few years back. So it kind of works in our favor that way.
So now going through discography, the three I see, The Art of Dying, which was 2006, and then Vices and Virtues, which was 2011, Rise Up was 2015. But you had this album in there that was acoustic, which is Let the Fire Burn. Mm-hmm. So I always ask this when metal bands do this or heavy rock bands do this. First off, I love that album, dude, because I love acoustic albums. What was your thought process when you decided to go, all right, we have these albums out, let's just do a whole acoustic album and see what happens? Do you think it was going to be as successful as it is?
Yeah, to us it was just like why wouldn't you? Like, oh, let's do acoustic versions, and we like sort of rearranging some of the heavy songs sometimes too, and maybe even changing the chords and the structure, just completely rethinking the song. So it is an artistic thing. It's just fun. I'm surprised that more bands don't do it. I mean, I think they do, but I just think everyone should. It was just natural. We actually just put out another EP a few months ago, an Evermore acoustic EP. So maybe you have to check that one out too. Have you heard that one?
No, I have not yet, actually. Because honestly, before this interview, man, I've only heard of you very lightly. It was through Adelitas' Way. It wasn't even from The Art of Dying. Then I realized you were in this band before, and I went, okay, wait a second.
Right on.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. I went back and started listening to albums, and I was floored by what I was listening to, man. You guys' music is killer. Now, acoustic shows, is this something that you guys do often, or is that just a one-time shot?
Well, actually, yeah, we've done lots of acoustic shows over the years, even a couple of acoustic tours.
That's cool.
And the most recent one was last year. We went with Scott Staff and did a bunch of theaters, and we tried something a little different where Cody, our drummer, he played the cajon, and I just played guitar, and Cale didn't even play bass, and we just kind of sang 4-part harmonies with one guitar and a cajon. And it just went over really well, and we thought, well, that sounds different and cool, so we decided to make the most recent EP based off of that sound. So
nice.
I produced that at home, and I just ended up throwing a little bit of piano in there too, just to fill it out a bit, and that's what you get for this latest one. It's all different, pretty much different arrangements on every song. Every song is completely different with the piano being featured almost more than the guitar here and there, so definitely different. And it's fun to experiment, so we had a blast doing that, and we'll probably keep doing it. The best part about the acoustic tour is just loading in with one guitar. And we did one a few years back where we just rented an SUV and drove around.
That's awesome.
So you save a lot on fuel.
Yeah, and that's pretty rare too, to only lug in one guitar. Usually it's a whole road case full of guitars.
An hour out of your day every day, you get that hour back. You got stuff to do. Yeah,
exactly.
What am I going to do? Loading's done. I can,
Yeah, I can't tell you how many tours I've been on where I was like, man, it'd be nice if I only had 2 guitars. Just 2. It's like never happens. Never happens. Now I'm going to go backwards a little bit. So as I started researching you and kind of looking into different stuff, I saw that you had this band that it was back in 2002 that you're a part of. Kroger from Nickelback's label, 604 Records. You guys were on this, and it was a post-grunge act that was called Thornley, correct?
Yeah, they called it post-grunge, but I thought we were called modern rock, really.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, it was, you could say early 2000s, Creed, Nickelback. That was what kind of sounded like. But yeah, that's what happened. I moved to Toronto and started playing. Actually, it was 2003 when I moved and got into the band. But I just hit the pavement out there and started freelancing there and just, meeting people and, again, got a break. That's my first of the 2 big breaks in my career, I guess, was just being in the right place at the right time. And Ian Thornley, who he's the lead singer and runs the band, he just found out about me through a friend who called my roommate and said, hey, and next thing you know, I'm meeting these guys, and then I'm in New York doing a photo shoot. So it was really fast. And then a few weeks later, quit my job and went on tour with Nickelback.
So you left that band, and that is when you did The Art of Dying, correct? You went from Thornley to The Art of Dying.
Yeah, I was in Thornley from 2003 to 2008.
Okay.
And right around that time, 2008, like I said, freelancing and doing a lot of things. I was playing with a lot of artists in Canada, mainly. And, we just got the chance to do this Art of Dying thing. Like when someone offers you a record deal in the United States, you kind of put your eggs in that basket. So that's what we did. And me and Cale, the bass player, he was in Thornley with me. And we kind of just, parted ways amicably with Ian and the guys and just, started focusing, moved to LA and made a record. That was the next phase.
So what's on for the Art of Dying? What are you guys doing next? You got the Nevermore. You just said that came out. That EP came out a few months ago. And so now tour, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're in the middle of recording a full-length electric album still at this moment. So we're hoping to get that done in the next few weeks, maybe a couple months. It always takes longer in this business to finish anything. So we're finding that right now, especially just we all live in different cities. And, like I was on tour last month. So we're trying to wrap up this album while we also have other lives at the same time. Everyone has kids and stuff. So it'll be done soon, but yeah, and then we'll be back to putting music on the radio and focusing on that stuff hopefully later this year.
Thanks so much for your time today. And let me know if you guys come up through New York on this stretch, man.
No, we do it all. So I'd imagine the next tour is going to have to hit, New York, Pennsylvania, all the way down, because we just did that sort of the middle of the country. So yeah,
awesome.
If I'm in your area, don't hesitate to shoot me a text and come on out.
Oh, I definitely will, man. Definitely. And make sure everybody goes on artofdyingmusic.com and check out all the releases and pick up their new Nevermore CD. And they got new stuff on the way, man. So, hey, you take care, bro.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Rockaball Live. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Spotify. Like our page for giveaways and more.